Guys and dolls, hope you can hear me all right. Chill up here. Oh, put my feet up, guys. Yes. Hello, hello, hello. New headphones. Broke my headphones, didn't I? See me heard them yesterday going all crackly. Hello, wee bit. So can you hear me okay? Are these headphones okay? I just got them. I'm just in the door, guys. I'm just in the door. Shell, hello. Hello, guys. Yeah, I'll tell you what I was up to. Doing my hair again, I think. Not happy with it, like. So, sounds fine. Brilliant. Thank you, wee bit. Thank you, guys. Oh, man. It's got chill up here. Chips on my lap. Yeah, Tulip's on my lap. It's the best I can do. You can't really see her. You get back a wee touch. I can still see her comments. Like Tulip. She's in season, guys. So I've got a wee blanket thing down here. Honestly, every time she gets on my lap, wee spots of blood, you know what I mean? But God love her. You know, she hasn't had a season in ages. Like, it must be a good year. Normally it's twice a year. And this is her first one on donkeys, like. So yeah, she's feeling a bit sorry for herself, so she is. Hello, bro. All done. All done. Everything okay? So that's it, sorted. Are you in or out? Are you still in hospital? They just fly you straight out, don't they? But no, mate, I'm glad everything's okay, and because there's always a worry. Like, people don't realize, you know. Bring it forward a wee touch, guys. People don't realize, like, going for any operation. Like, I am, like, the bit would worry me is getting put out and not coming back, you know, because when they say to you, like, you've got to sign an order and all that, that is worrying. Never mind what you're getting done. That's what I think, like. Hello, Gio. See, I've noticed that, right? Oh, there you are. Hello, Gio, mate. Sometimes I miss your comments, and sometimes I think that yous are seeing a comment and replying it before I'm seeing it. No problem, Yvonne. Yeah, it's just a wee chat to see what's happening with Tommy. I've been out all day. I'm only in the door, cup of tea. Now result, biopsy. Oh, fuck's sake, mate. Right, okay. I thought that was getting dealt with there and then, you know. So, yeah, okay. Yeah, they cut Tommy's phone off because his son was speaking in the background to him, and he was on. So when you're on a phone call in the jail, so when you go into the jail, you can't make a phone call until you give them what phone numbers, right? So this is how it works. It's John in. You see. John. What John have we got in? I can't see any Johns. I can't see any Johns, guys. Um, yeah. With yeah, I'm just thinking about Lee. I'm struggling to move on, to be honest with you. Like, but I know he would want me to. But yeah, it's I worry. Of course, I worry. We worry about our friends. We worry about anybody in our community, whether they were close friends or not. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, I'll say a wee prayer for you, man. I was actually talking to some Jehovah Witnesses there for about a good 10, 15 minutes. No, no, I'm Freedom Dad. My real name's Mark, but my mates call me Sparky. Nobody, the only people call me Mark is the police and my ma. You know, the only people call me by my real name is the police and my ma. You know, God love her. Um, yeah, Freedom Dad. FD. Just put FD, mate. Sorry, let's start, Lee. Yeah, do give me a wee phone tonight, mate. Gonna be going live tonight about 6:30, 7:30, whatever I can fit in, guys. Um, just to talk about what's happened with Tommy today, what information we've got. You can let me know what's going on. Like I say, I've been out all day. I was away at the doctor's. Yeah, and I've got no data. Got no data on my phone, so I don't know. I don't know anything. I've just got in the door, made a cup of tea, and I made a roll up. And yeah, we were at the doctor's with wee Lucky with not the doctor at the doctor's surgery, but not at the doctor's. A massage class, you know. So um, to be honest with you, like, you know, I hate to say this, like, you know what I mean, but it's not very good. It isn't very good, you know what I mean. It's it's just rubbing the baby class. Basically, that's as far as I'm concerned. It's just rubbing oil over your baby. There's no real talk about massaging. They're not talking about muscles or nothing like that. You know what I mean? Because I massaged my baby since she was born. I mean, I can remember starting with my wee finger on the back of her calf. You know, just rubbing it back and forth and then doing her thighs. And that's what I do. Like every day, I'll spend time and I'll start with her toes and I'll massage her toes and then I'll do her calves and then I'll do her thighs, front and back, quads as well. And then I'll do her shoulder blades, do her shoulders, her traps, then her back, her lats. Her lats are here, shoulders, traps, back of the neck, shoulder, bicep, tricep, forearm, both sides, back and forth. So I know every muscle group, you know what I mean? So I know where to work. And I've been doing that since she was born, and it's amazing. It is like I can't emphasize to anybody, like if you tell your kids if they've got children, please believe me, there's more to massaging than what meets the eye. Okay, I promise you, it does something. You need to look into it, but it releases something in your body, and it's really good for you. And there's pressure points on your hand that you can press in here, in there, and you just hold your finger on it for a couple of seconds and release. And it does stuff. It takes away headaches and all that. It affects your brain and your body. And I promise you guys, this is experience. This is years of experience. Um, and I wouldn't be coming out with some random mad stuff like that to tell you to look into massages, but genuinely look into massages. They, you know, personally, I think massages should be part of the chemist, like the doctor's prescription. I really do. For some people, like mental health as well, I think massages are really good for mental health. Yeah, Gio, Lee's got a channel. Yep. Sorry, that's not be my fault. I should be talking a wee bit more about Lee and stuff on his channel. I just take it for granted you all know, guys, you know, because I've done so much stuff with Lee and I'm always talking about his channel and stuff, you know. So maybe Gio's not paying enough attention. I'm joking, mate. I'm joking. Yeah. Yeah, he's tweeting updates. Okay, so you can let me know what's going on. Like, but like I've said, these guys, um, you know, that's is what's going on. I hope I've explained it properly, these, so you have an idea, because nobody was really, I don't think anybody really had a clue what was going on, apart from Tommy's team and that, obviously. And like I say, nobody was saying anything, so I wasn't going to put out videos and stuff. And I just know I'm not like that. You know what I mean? I'm not going to use Tommy Robinson's name to grow my channel or to get people to watch a video. You know what I mean? I put TR down. You know what I mean? Just, well, you know, I've got to sort of label the video in a sensible way. You know, even if I want to look back. Cheers, Lee. Yeah, Lee British Patriot as a channel. And all you got to do, guys, is click on that icon and it'll take you straight to his channel. Subscribe, come straight back to here. Easy peasy. Hit the notification bell. And, you know, even if you're too busy, just if you see his video, just give it a like. Give it a wee like and a wee quick share on the X or something, you know what I mean? And it doesn't matter if you don't have many followers. This is what you got to understand about sharing and stuff like that. You know what I mean? See, I don't talk about it because I don't look for that. You know, I'm happy the way I am, as I keep saying. Um, but Lee needs a wee bit more help to get so he can go live and stuff like that. Yeah. So he's just a commentator and he's just going to grow like me and he's going to do stuff like me and he's going to, you know, obviously try different things. And once, you know, we have the community and it's like, it's all our communities. We're all the same, you know, it doesn't, there's no competition, you know, and that's the best way to be. Because some days you might just not feel like a bit of freedom dad and then you've always got Lee, you know. And yeah, that's what it's about. It's about being together, being a group of patriots, you know, just loving each other, helping each other, you know, being happy if somebody's growing and going further than you and like, you know, doing better content, being really happy and proud that you know that guy and he's part of our community. That's the way I look at things like that, you know what I mean? I'm just glad I know him. I am proud to know the man, you know what I mean? Without a doubt, he's a character, absolute character, what he's been through, the stories he knows, the connections with the London boys and all that. Yeah, yeah, it's not really my place to say too much, but yeah, good guy. Want to listen, guys? He's a personal friend of mine, so he's a good guy. Simple as that. You know what I mean? I'm a fussy bugger like when it comes to friends. Yeah. So if you're not subbed, guys, yes, most of you will be subbed. Just double check your subs as well, because you know. Hello, John. Welcome in. Yeah, so down at the massage, down massaging the baby, but like I say, it was more just rubbing oil on the baby, you know, just stuff like that. And there wasn't any emphasis put on actually massaging muscles, you know what I mean? But, you know, it's, Katie go, she asked me to go the day, you know what I mean? It's not really my cup of tea, obviously, guys, you know, but she said that there was like the husbands were there last week, you know what I mean? She was the only one without a husband there. So I'm like, right, I'll go. You know what I mean? And then I went, and there was no other husbands there. You know what I mean? It was all women. And yeah, so that was fun. So yeah, that was fun. I enjoyed seeing Lucky interacting with other babies. It was amazing, guys. You know what I mean? I don't I know. They were all wee babies. You know what I mean? All wee newborn babies, all lying in mats in a circle, all looking at each other and gurgling and making noises. It was amazing. It was amazing. But it's a girly thing. But I like seeing my wee Lucky interacting with other kids. You know what I mean? I'm always going to enjoy that and she was really well behaved. She was the best behaved baby there. But it's only because I'm doing this with her all the time, massaging her, so she knows she loves it. Once I start working on her toes, she knows what's coming. You know, and that she relaxes and she really enjoys it, and that tells me everything I need to know. It tells me that I'm doing something that's making her feel better. You understand? And I know it's contact and all that, but I do believe there's chemicals that's released from rubbing muscles. That's the only way I can put it. There's something that goes on. Like I say, the pressure points. You've got to look into it. Like if you're wanting to look into stuff like that, you're looking at Tibetan monks, people like that. 2 seconds, Paul. Tibetan monks, people like that. The Chinese, they know all these pressure points around the hand that you press and hold. It's definitely worth looking into. I picked it up and dropped it, picked it up and dropped it. But, you know, if I was younger, I would maybe have that as part of my life of some of the knowledge I have, you know what I mean? Things like that. Something that's free, something that you can do yourself or you can help other people with that's free and gives so much rewards. So that's the way I look at it. 110% massages do something amazing to you. I was a I've went to massages all my life. I'll be honest with you. You can imagine I'm a single guy, don't have any children, you know, before I met Sammy, my wife, traveled around the world. So I frequent a few massage parlors in my day, and there's a couple of times I've had to go in and tell them, listen, I'm here for a massage, most and foremost. You know, really do, like, you know, seriously. Like, and then I used to go to these Thai girls that done it, and that was just massages, guys. You know what I mean? There was nothing else involved in that. Um, and yeah, I felt a big difference from my mental health, you know, and it's not something I've talked about because never brought it up. It's not something you go around telling everybody, oh, have you tried massages? They're amazing. But yeah, they are amazing. They do something to your head. They release some sort of chemical in your body, which makes you feel a lot better. So if you've got an opportunity of getting a proper massage, please take it. That's all I'm going to say. And you might notice the first time, But once you start going, you'll notice a difference. And then once you notice it, it grows. Once you recognize it, that's when it becomes a thing. You understand? You can go through life and all sorts of things are coming and going. You don't even realize it because you don't know it's a thing. You need to trigger the brain to recognize it, and then it flourishes. That's the way. It's a strange way that life works. Right. So Paul O'Neill, while the world was watching the McGregor show in Washington, the real story was missed. We had a minister in Germany for Paddy's Day with bankers. You had a minister, Irish minister, with bankers and digital currency, cash gone later this year, total control. Yeah. So this will be an Irish thing, and it'll probably be a European thing, I imagine. And hopefully we will resist it in Great Britain. I'm just, I have to say, we know it's coming. We do know it's coming, Paul, 110%. But we do also know that you will probably get hit first. And that's down to the people. I don't know how you're going to get around that, mate. You know what I mean? But it doesn't matter if it's McGregor or if there was a volcano erupting in the Highlands of Scotland. You know what I mean? It wouldn't make a difference. Whether they done it behind our backs or in front of our backs, everybody knows it's coming. We can see how hard it is. The cash machines. Listen, I'm a cash man. You know me. I have my eye on cash, right? I used to. I was always a cash man. So cash in transit, core vans, banks, building societies, interested in what things like that going on in life because I was involved in stuff like that. So I can tell you now, like, there's no cash out there. There's no more bank robberies. The cash machines are constantly empty. That's a good thing or a bad thing for somebody like me. I don't know. But yeah, we do see a big change in society. Even trying to go and get cash back, it's you're going in there and they don't have the cash sometimes. So that tells me that everybody's using a card. You understand? So yeah, it is something that it's a strange one because I imagine everybody now has a bank account and everybody now has a bank card, and that's the problem. That it is going to be easy for them, but it's down to the people to resist. It really is. It's down to people like yourself, Paul, raising awareness, and and this is one of the points I was trying to make the other day. And it's like, like with that comment there, straight away it's attacking Conor McGregor because you personally don't like him, which is fair enough. You're totally entitled to your opinion. But what I'm trying to say is, with that message without the Conor McGregor bit, would get more people interested in it because you're starting off with a hateful start of the comment. So straight away people see, oh, he's got an axe to grind. He doesn't, because we understand there's a section of the community, whether it's 50-50, whatever, don't like Conor McGregor because he went through the civil case. I have explained that, mate. I don't know if you know what exactly happened, but they've been on the phone all night, flirting with each other. She'd been phoning him, sending him messages. They met up at 7:30 in the morning, mate. They were both on it, both mad with it. She went back to his hotel with another guy, and they had sex. There's no two ways about it, And then he left, and she stayed for another 3 or 4 hours with the other guy. Then there's loads of messages and everything else involved in it. And then she was asking her friend not to delete messages and everything before, So this is why there was no prosecution brought. And the reason why he got the civil case, there was 8 women in the jury, mate, and all it would take would be 8 women and a couple of men like you, and that would be it. The guy's done for. And it's a difficult situation when you're, for any woman that is in a situation like that, it is difficult because, I think most people would find it hard to understand why you would be out all night, leaving your man looking after your wains in the house, and you're out all night messaging Conor McGregor because he replied to you on a WhatsApp or whatever, some social media site, and you're messaging him all night. You're at both 2 different nightclubs, and then you meet up at 7:30 in the morning and go back to a penthouse. Come on, Paul. If you don't believe me, go and have a look at Candace Owen. She explains it a lot better than I can, And but all I'm trying to say to you, bro, is you've got really good stuff, good content. You've got a good head on you. You're to be honest with you, if you got rid of all I hate him, I hate him, I hate him, I hate him. Apart from that, you do everything for my lucky. You're saying everything that I want to be heard from my daughter from 20. So like I always say to people, that's what I look for. You know, I'm not looking to agree with everybody. I'm just looking for people that are looking for a good future for my kid, and they're fighting for it and they're doing something about it. You know, so but if you can drop the hate, mate, your message will get out a lot louder and a lot clearer without a doubt. Hello, little Englander. Thanks for coming in. David, Sue, John Rankin. Hello, mate. How you doing, John? Have you got a sore head? I haven't fucking, mate, I've been non-stop. First thing this morning, I was up quite early, like, but I was didn't see a message from me, and then Katie was up quite early because we had this massage thing up at the doctor's. She wanted me to go with her, so we walked. It's beautiful over here at the minute. Blue skies. Well, it was blue skies, and then crisscross lines and that. So honestly, guys, I swear to God, right? And I mean this. I've got videos on my TikTok. I will do a video. I will go out and take. Honestly, I need to make sure I've got enough memory. Make sure my battery's charged. Set my phone up on my window, facing and putting on time lapse and letting it run for 3 or 4 hours, and then bringing you what happens. I'm telling you guys, in the morning where I live, right over my head, it's happening that much that I've done videos and put them on TikTok, right? Blue, perfect blue skies, perfect, absolutely like blue, 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 you know, the bluest sky you can see. And the next thing you know, you see in the distance lines, then a plane will come over, and then there'll be a crisscross, one going that way. I had 5 crisscrosses right above me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The video's on TikTok. I'm sure I've done the video on here, guys. I'm sure you have seen the video. If it's on TikTok, I'll be on here. And again the day this morning, first thing, beautiful blue skies. Next thing you know, lines, and that's all. It's all this. It's not blue anymore. It's just a whitey, creamy color, and it's still a nice day. You get me? It's still a nice day. It's not thick cloud or nothing like that. It's just like a mist. That's what it's like. And please believe me, I've been around for 55 years. I love playing outside. I've always played outside. I grew up playing outside. I loved looking up at the skies and the clouds, you know what I mean? And, you know, all for different reasons. Well, to be honest with you, I used to be a glue sniffer when I was really young. When I was in the children's homes, 11, 12, 13, right up to probably I was about 15, I was a glue sniffer. And one of the trips that I used to do, I used to land on the grass on my back and look at the clouds, and I used to hallucinate of the clouds used to do different things. So I'm aware of what the sky looks like. You know, I'm aware of what the sky looks like growing up, and the skies have changed. There's something going on. 110% they are spraying something in the skies. And I don't understand why people are not up in arms. I just honestly believe people just aren't looking up. They just aren't looking up, you know, or they're not out in the morning looking up, you know, and yeah, I will start doing videos about it, guys. Afternoon, little Englander. The banks are coming for savings, and once go digital later this year with press of the button, all can be gone for a greater good, more effort. Yeah, it is. There's right. So on top of that, Paul, let me just. We will talk about this because this is important, guys. There's stuff going on right now that you don't know about. There's something going on down in Bristol, and they're calling it the 15-minute city. Okay, where they're putting barriers in so they can shut the place off, so you can't get in and out. They're calling them bus barriers, but they're doing it 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock in the morning, you know, and they're bringing like 40, 50 police officers and all sorts, and drones and helicopters. They're putting these things in, and nobody's stopping them. The residents have tried, and no, the residents are coming out whenever they, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, guys. This is military operation. These are 15-minute cities that are coming to a city near you. And this will all go with the digital, because you won't be able to use your bank. If the government say you can't leave that particular area, you won't be able to use your bank card in anywhere apart from your local shops. And everything you buy will be recorded. Everything. There's nothing you will be able to do that won't be monitored and logged. And that's bad. That's bad. It would be different if we were all getting the information, but it's all going to people that aren't doing a very good job at looking after us, and that's the government, and that's a big problem, you know. And yep, little thing there too, Paul. The digital banking is frightening. Yep. Yeah, it's not that it's lies, Shell, right? With Conor McGregor, you got to understand he was found guilty in a civil case. Okay, now no, it was a jury. I don't know the full story, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, we can see what's happened. We can see why it's happened, and it's a bit of a travesty, you know what I mean? And I'm not here to call any person a liar or to say that somebody's claimed some sort of SA. I'm not that kind of guy. You know, I'm just a logical looking guy that looks at things logically, and none of it makes any sense at all. And that's the reason why there was no prosecution. Please believe me, if you know, if there was a chance of a prosecution, there'll be any updates from Tommy. I'm just in the door, mate, so I'm relying on my community to put up any updates on Tommy. I know people are listening in to the tweets that are coming out from Ezra. So he's in the court and he'll be tweeting live. So them tweets will be going up on X, on YouTube, or mostly X, obviously. So I'm relying on our guys here to keep me updated and keep all us updated. And sounds like you're in a box. It's a new headphone. That's a new headphone. Till I get another one, I broke my headphone. He's heard it going yesterday. Is it bad? I'll change the setup. So well, it's because I'm in the kitchen. There's still hello Muttley. There's still Shell Stacey. They're still throwing stuff about Rupert Lowe. Well, that's not any surprise, guys. We know that. You know, you just got to look at Trump. You've got to understand that Biden's Labour, they're all the same. Exactly the same people are controlling them. The same people write their speeches. The same people that send out their tweets. Everything is the same. Everything you see the Stormer doing about Ukraine, it's not Stormer. Stormer's doing exactly what he's told, just like the Bidens were doing what they told. There's a bigger players in the world right now, guys, and it's all going to come to fruition, 110%. And yeah, it's a bit embarrassing to be honest with you. I know Storm. I'm going to bring a bit. I've got a brilliant video. Scott Ritter. Oh, he lays into. You want to hear this guy's version of what's been going on with Stormer and America and Trump. Very interesting. Very, very. This is stuff that you're not going to hear in Britain, guys. Honestly, like I was like, whoa, you know, embarrassing for Britain. Basically, Britain's went in there to try and get the minerals, right? This is what's happened, okay? So Britain done a deal with Ukraine after they walked away from Trump. Can you remember? Now, remember this. This is how bad Britain is. This is how bad Stormer and that is. This is what they've done. They give Trump an invitation to see the king. You remember that? We envelope and everything. And then Zelensky got straight over and seen the king straight away. I can guarantee you now, Trump won't come over here to see the king. He's not going to take sloppy seconds from Zelensky. I might be wrong, but from what I'm hearing from the Americans, they're not happy. Trump kicked him out of the White House. Stormer brought him over and opened his arms. Now, this is the facts. The reason why that was done was because Stormer and Britain, or whoever's in charge of Europe, has tried to steal the minerals. Now, I can't get my head around it because I truly don't believe that there's that many minerals. You know what I mean? I don't think that it's worth what they're talking about because it's not even in the chart, the league table of the mineral countries in the world with the most minerals. Ukraine don't even get a mention in that league table. You understand? So that's how little minerals they actually have. So it doesn't make any sense to me what it's all about. Maybe there's something else going on. I'll get your comments in a minute, guys. So Zelensky came over to Britain, remember, more or less the next day, big hugs and everything from Stormer and rubbing the back and everything, brought him in, let him see the king, you know, and then offered him £100 million for the rights, for the mineral rights, because they honestly thought it was theirs. And then Trump done something and Zelensky went back to Trump. So it left Stormer looking like an absolute fool. Please believe me. And that's why you're not going to hear nothing about this. I will bring the video. You're going to enjoy it. I promise you. I'll do it. I'll bring it tomorrow. Last night, the where I seen it, it was somebody else's video. I wanted to go straight to Scott Ritter's because Scott Ritter's the man, and he won't mind me sharing his stuff if it promotes his channel. I'm aware of that, but I don't think Scott would appreciate me sharing his stuff that somebody else has shared because I would just be promoting the guy's channel who's shared it. You understand? So I need to go to the source, and I'm just trying to find the right video. You know. Because it's a clip from a bigger video and there's loads of big videos, so I need to actually quickly fast forward and try and pick up, because I'll recognize what part it is. Hello, Vanda. Hello, 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 everybody. Sound muffled. Does it sound muffled to you guys? Because I did do a sound check and everybody said the sound was fine. Hello, Precious. This is an incredibly important day for Tommy. Please, Lord, let I come bring him home to us. Yep, definitely, Lucy. Even if reform got in, which he says will likely happen, they will be made to toe the line. It sounds quiet. Please give me a sound check, guys. Just let me know what it's like. I've got the old one here, and I could probably take this bit off and put that over it. I will get one. I need to order it, but I could probably put that over that later on. Just give it a wee cut, you know what I mean, and just squeeze it over it. But this is the mic. This is the mic here, guys. This is the mic here. So let me know. Right, okay. Okay, guys. Okay, how about that? Is that better? Give me a out of 10, guys, if this is better. Sounds okay to me. It just depends what you are watching it. Some people are watching it on TV, so the sound's got to be right for TVs. Phones adjust. Phones adjust the sound. They do, like, they have some sort of technology that they can adjust the sound. So when it comes out pretty much the same all the time. But phones are different. Or TVs are different, guys. Sound for me is just low. I'm going to send 3 lawyers. So if I'm talking into it now, guys, is that a bit better? Because if I need to talk into it, that's all I need to do. Hello, Willow Ferry. Good to see you too. Well, that's better for me, Freedom Dad. Yeah, that's better. It's not as good as your own mic. I've turned volume up a bit. Okay, mate. I'm on the phone. Window Man Tommy will come out of prison wiser and very much stronger. Look at it as a form of rebirth. The people are in waiting for him. Sound better. Sound is a bit low. Okay. Okay, guys. I will. John Capone, just for the record, my volume's up. Yeah, we'll turn the volume up, guys, for me, and yeah, I will get on to it, and I will talk a wee bit louder into the mic. But it's Freedom Dad's channel. It's going to be like that. It's never going to be perfect, guys. But yeah, the thing about Conor McGregor is, it's one of them things, guys. Like anything in life, you're always going to get a group of people, right? This is the way I think it is. This is why I think it works. The psychology with Tommy Robinson, Conor McGregor, Donald Trump, Elon Musk. I do believe this. I don't believe a lot of people truly believe what they believe. I think they hate just because they hate. Even when you tell them something like, "This is the facts," you don't need to hate like that because, to be honest with you, there's more chance you're wrong than right. And to point the finger at somebody, like that and say something like that, you need to be 100%. You need to be able to take it to the bank with receipts and eyewitness accounts and all the rest of it and DNA, the works. You know what I mean? Um, so I honestly think that some people, if a group of people go for a person like Trump, Tommy Robinson, you know, it's the group of people that's the problem. That's what I think. When we get haters and you get people that come on and behave, it's the group of people. Now, no, I'm not going. I don't. Paul, I think Paul's away, but I don't want to talk about him when he's not here. But you know, he has come on the social media and leaving comments, and he has put himself out there, and he has taken criticism, and I think he's been pretty fair, and he's listened to me, and I think, this is what I always say, guys. It's so easy just to come like go down hard on people that are hating on us, but some people, you got to understand why they're hate. There'll be a good reason for it, and you can get through to some of these people. Some of them you can't, but you can work that out pretty early. You know, with Paul, I truly believe we could get through the Paul. You know what I mean? And it's you got to understand he comes from a country, in his eyes, has been persecuted by the British government, and you've got to see it from his point of view, what he's been through, who he's been around, who's brought him up, you know, what he's been taught in school, the things that they get kids to say in the street, the older men in the pubs, what kind of communities he come from, you know what I mean? So you've got to understand that we're not all the same. We come from so many different types of communities, and we will have different opinions. And there is. Oh, you are there, mate. Oh, good. Sorry, mate. I thought you were away. But you get me. Um, that's what I do think. I think it's the Tommy Robinson because he's British. Elon Musk, Trump. Because they're rich and you see them as a part of the establishment, and you don't believe Tommy's really a working class man, and you don't believe he's in prison, and you know what I mean? It's like, come on, man. I understand the Israeli thing because he wore the I keep going to say Hamas. Hello, Rudolph. Good to see you again. Richard Emmons going live at 2 p.m. RETR. Regarding TR, okay. Well, if somebody wants to jump on there, we could all jump on there. So what I started. So we got an hour, half an hour. Yeah. So I just think it's everybody's different. I used to be like Paul, exactly like that with the Irish. And I wouldn't listen to what anybody said or Catholics, and I didn't care. You know what I mean? Um, and that's just the way I was brought up. But it's different. You grow, you learn, and like I keep on saying, these guys, you've got to see the bigger picture. Whether Trump's part of the establishment, part of the WEF, and he's playing a long game, and he's drawing patriots in so they can do what they need to do. There is a good possibility. Elon Musk as well could be playing a hand as well to everybody, even his own people, and really deep down they could be pushing for the same agenda: IDs, 15-minute cities, cashless society. You know, um, yeah, very dangerous place to go. But I don't. I think it's inevitable. I think we're going to go down that road no matter what. If not in our time, in maybe Lucky's time, we will be in a society. And guys, a lot of people don't like it. I personally see problems, but you know, coffee's for me, Mike. Cheers, mate. You don't need to do anything like that, guys, because it's not like I can just get it out and go and get a new mic. Okay, so you never can help me like that. So I always tell you this. It takes about 10 days. Believe you me, and that's just the way these people are. The rich. That's what they do with our money. You know. You know. You ever wonder why it takes 5 working days and all that, and something like this would take 10 days when I can send money instantly and you can send money instantly. I can go into my banking app and send a friend money, and it's like that, and vice versa. But when they've got our money, it takes days and days and days. It takes up to over a week because they're using our money. They use it. They make money with our money before they give it back to us, and that's what they do with it. That's the reason that's there. But no matter what they say, they're lying. My mother was a Cockney. I have no bad blood with British people. It's the establishment. I know, but Tommy Robinson isn't the establishment. Conor McGregor isn't the establishment. You know what I mean? And you're intelligent. You can look into these things. And yeah, and it's just the way you are. But that's just the way. I've got mates, Celtic friends, that hated Tommy Robinson. Please believe me. I've been in jail with him. Would not entertain anything to do with Tommy Robinson. These same men are now Tommy Robinson supporters, you know, because it was just what they were used to, what they heard, what they were told by their peers, you know. But it's down to you as an individual to research everything before you go on to anywhere and leave a comment or do a video or do anything, even walk out your door. Know the facts. And if you don't know the facts, if you look at something and you go, well, there's a possibility he could be innocent of that, then you can't go with it. You can't go with a guilty thing. You just can't. I wouldn't do that to any man. Doesn't matter if it's Conor McGregor or some guy down the street. Yeah, we're all in the agreement, guys, that the government have done none of us any favours, and it's because we've got the wrong people in government. We've got private schoolboys in government. What do you expect them to do for us? They hate us. They hate us. They look down their nose at us. They always have. You know, they want us to be servants. They don't want us to be voting and deciding what's going on in this country. We're not good enough for that. They just see us all in council houses, having loads of children, drinking beer in the garden, and dropping rubbish everywhere, and smoking, and all the rest of it. That's what they see. They stereotype us, as you see with Little Britain, with the comedy show Little Britain. That's the stereotype. And it's always been like that. But we still keep voting these people in because they won't let any of our men get through. Like you see what's happening every time we try to put somebody up or they crucify them. You know? Yeah, because yeah, it is. We are. That's the thing as well. You can't come on to these platforms, especially mine, and slag Tommy Robinson off, man. You know what I mean? It's like I've studied the guy. I promise you, I've done my homework. I'm not gonna back a man and let my daughter look back on me and go, my daddy supported him. You know what I mean? And he's somebody bad. I'm not gonna do that, mate. It's not like I've just woke up and decided to support Tommy Robinson. I was supporting Tommy Robinson as soon as he was getting flack from the EDL. I was watching Tommy Robinson burning swastikas and running about with blacks and brown coloured people, and then watching the establishment calling him a racist. And then that raised my eyebrows. I'm like, whoa, he's clearly not a racist. Everything he's doing is to trying to bring community together for one cause, to protect his children. There's no racism there at all, but yet the establishment pushed it and then they silenced him so he couldn't get a reply. And I thought that was the most shocking thing that ever happened to a human being. You've got to put yourself in them shoes. Imagine the government coming out and saying all sorts of mad stuff about you, talking about you in the Houses of Parliament, Prime Ministers talking about, and you can't even get on a platform to defend yourself because they've made all the platforms take you down. That's not a man that's working for anybody but his children. It's as simple as that. And if we all see that, everybody in my platform sees that, guys. And so when you come on here and saying about Tommy Robinson, because people expect you to know what we know. We expect people that's on the internet to be aware of the facts by now. You get me? So when somebody comes on and starts shouting about Tommy Robinson, we just think it's the far left. We just think it's some header from the far left coming on to do some hate. We never imagined it ever to be a patriot from anywhere. America, Ireland, Britain, Poland. We would never expect any patriot from any country to, at this stage of the game, think anything other than Tommy Robinson of being the hero of this country. And that's facts from Freedom Dad. Take that to the bank. Rudolph, let's get ready to celebrate another Christian day on the calendar. Easter is the most important date in the Christian calendar, making the end of Lent and the beginning of the Easter season. Well, um, this year, I'm going to have a wee look at the, not the Mormons, the Jehovah Witnesses. I'm going to a service So I am for that, and yeah, I'm interested. I'm interested in it. I like going to different places like that. Stop looking for heroes. Be your own hero. Influence your own communities, your own world, and not politically voting, as is this fucking mess. I understand. I understand, but we're not looking for heroes. We recognize heroes. We don't look for heroes. We're not gonna, like, if a hero comes up in front of us in our communities or in our country, we are going to recognize that man, and it's as simple as that. And yes, we are looking for people to help us, and we are looking for people to speak up for us because we don't have anybody to speak up for us because our government and our media are silencing everybody. So it takes a pretty strong man to get through all that, like the Ben Habib, you know, Tommy Robinson. Yeah, that's the most important thing. Hello, Marty. Hello, mate. Yeah, we need to vote, guys. That's the most important message we need to push out to everybody. And hello, Chris. And I do think, like, this is it. This is the awakening of the working class. I do believe that everybody will be voting. I do believe in 4 years' time it's going to be that bad that there's not going to be a man that isn't going to vote. And I think once we get the word out that it has been the working class that hasn't been voting, the 40% that didn't vote is basically the working class. And the reason why we haven't voted is because there's been nobody to represent us. So when there is somebody that will represent us, they've got 40% of the vote straight away. You understand? So I'm not really that concerned. What does concern me, to be honest with you, and this is another video I'm gonna bring to you. Maybe one, sorry, 2 seconds, Rudolph. Maybe one thinks it's about eggs and chocolate kind souls, but I do the best to let them know the real meaning of Easter and Christmas and our events on our Christian calendar. Well, my advice, if you've got children, is to take them to the events and just keep doing that. Christmas, church, Easter, church. If you're not at church every Sunday, my advice, if you want to, do good for your child, is get them involved and get them used to doing that. And yeah, and you don't need to. I would hold off and let them enjoy their life and give them a bit of understanding, obviously, between good and bad, and that there's a God and angels, and you can put it into a way where it's interesting and exciting. And then as they get older, you can maybe take it a wee bit more serious with them and let them grow and flourish themselves rather than push it down them. Like what I mean, like I say, I want my lucky to have a choice. What I mean, I don't want to push her down any roads. What I mean, I don't know what the roads are going to be like later on in life, so I have to keep that in mind. um, it's not the world I was brought up in anymore, so I have to be conscious about that. But yeah, it is a big event in the Christian calendar coming up, and it will be interesting to see how the government react to it. But what was I just saying now? Sorry, guys. Yeah, just basically saying, guys, about it's it's the working class. We will make a difference. But one of my problems, this is what I'm trying to say to you in the video the other day about reform. Please believe me, I've got evidence. I can prove to you. I can bring a video to use. I'm going to bring a video to use, and it's going to be a wee short video. And I don't know if I'll get it kept up because the person whose video it is will not like me doing this, and I know that. But I'm not really caring, to be honest with you, about this particular character. But I'm going to show you. I'm going to give you an example of who is going to be voting for reform. Okay? And when you see this, that's when the penny's going to drop for yourselves. You know what I mean? Um, that's what I think. And that's what concerns me. Sounds very fictional. It didn't turn me into religion at all, Freedom Dad. Yeah, I know. But this is what I keep telling you about the faith and the belief and all that. You got to get it out of your head that God's going to come down and show you a miracle. You know what I mean? Um, doing my best to let them into it themselves by age. But what does anger me is he was telling me he is getting taught Muslim prayer. He said that they bring the rugs out, and that's what I clicked at. Well, that wouldn't be happening at any school my child would be going to, you know what I mean? And I would be making that clear from the start. And that's why I'm going to be looking into homeschooling with another group of people. Whether they're into it or not, I don't know if it's going to come off or not, but I will find some solution for my child because, you know, if I'm not going to push anything like that down their throat, nobody else has got the right to do it. But, you know, like I'm saying about reform, guys, there's, I don't think people really realize how many people have left Labour. I'm seeing hardcore Labour supporters doing videos against Labour. These people are never voting for Labour again. I can prove that. Where do you think these people are going to go? You just got to think about it. You got to see a world where there's no Labour. You might have a wee bit of Conservatives, but even that, I don't even think they're going to be in the run. It's going to be a political party for us that we don't have yet, or UKIP, one of the two, and then it's going to be Reform. You understand? That's your left. That's your new Labour, 110%. I know who's going to be voting for Reform in 4 years, and you're going to be really, really surprised. And this is what Nigel's doing. He knows exactly what he's doing. Be careful with what is being shown. A photo some years ago came from a video that Muslims made singing various religious songs, not just Muslim, photo manipulated enough to look terroristic. Oh yeah, 100%. Tis 100%. You've got to like really. I never go in nothing anymore. I always sit back, you know what I mean, and wait. Yeah. So yeah, guys, just keep me up to date with Tommy. Like I say, I was at this massage thing with a baby today. You get email, obviously email, then you get a reply and it's there. You can, it's recorded. You know what I mean? Okay, Lucy, have a good day. I'll catch up in them videos so well later on because, like I say, I haven't stopped. But like I was at that massage class, right? I swear to God, I was sitting there thinking I should be doing videos and massaging babies. You know, seriously, like because that was not a massage class. That was just rubbing oil on a baby. That was just rubbing a baby. You know, I didn't like. I massage my baby every single day. Once a day, she gets a head to toe massage, you know, and it's not hard. All the muscle groups are there. You can't go wrong, you know what I mean? And like, see when I do, because like I say, I start on her feet, work up her calf, her thighs, then her shoulders, work my way down. And then what I do is I put my hands onto her back and run my fingers down each side of her backbone because there's a muscle runs down there. And then that comes down to your tailbone and it comes off to two muscles that go to the top of your bum, right? So if you bring your hands down your baby's back and just go like that, I used to, how I do it is like tickling for fish, if you've ever heard of that. So if you're ever in a river where there's fish, underneath quite a lot, underneath rocks, if they're going, if you know the fish are going upriver, they will rest underneath rocks. So the rock stops the flow, and they'll go under there and they'll sit and they'll just rest until they go on a wee bit. So you can put your fingers on in the water and you go like it's called tickling, and you gently reach down under the rock and you tickle until you feel the fish. And you just keep tickling the fish, and they just think it's bits of water and bits of whatever. That's what it feels like to them. And then when you're ready, you grab it and throw it over. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's crazy, eh? Good wee trick to know. Like you never know. One day you might need to know that. But feeling that, just build a dam. Build a dam, and the fish will fill it. I'm away myself. No problem, John. Okay, John boy. Hope you're good, mate. I'll give you a wee shout when I come off. So I will. And just keep an eye on Tommy for us as well, mate, so you can keep me updated when I come off. But yeah, thanks for coming on, guys. We're just going to rack 6 minutes and then we'll go and catch. Well, I'm going to do some dishes. I'm going to lift the stand up, set it over there, and do some dishes and tidy up the kitchen and watch Richard Inman. So Richard Inman's going live. Don't know if it's with Paul Thorpe or not, guys. So and I am coming live tonight between 6:30 and 7. I can't pin it down just yet, but I will be coming live tonight because there is people that aren't getting these lives during the day, and I'm not happy with that. I need to think about the people that are at work as well. You know what I mean, guys? And I am concentrating on people stuck in the house because I think to me they are most important. Like I know most people think people are dossers, but like I've said in my video, if you're stuck in the house all day, like I know people are stuck in the house. They're not dossers. They're not melting the system. They're stuck in the fucking house. It's a beautiful day out there, right? And these people are stuck in the house. They don't come out of the house ever. If they have to go to a shop, they have to go to a doctor's, and that's it. That's serious mental health. Serious mental health. You know, and these are the people that are going to be targeted by the government. But that's another life as well. Um, and please, guys, before I go, please, 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 before you go, Lee, British Patriotic Lee, please, British, he's on here. You'll see his comments. Click on his icon. Please go and give him a sub. He's been in hospital today, got his biopsy done. He's just going to wait for the results now. We're all praying for him. And like I say, he's part of our community, but he's also a YouTuber, guys. So, and he's trying to build it up because he's doing really well in X. He's got a great following in X, but he just can't seem to crack YouTube. So he just needs a few more subs so he can start going live, and hopefully that'll bring in more subs, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. So please, 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 this is when a patriot needs support, you know what I mean? So get on there, guys. Give him a bit of love, and I'll see you this evening. See you at 6:30. I'll send out what I can. Like buy me a coffee. I'll send the email out on that to everybody, telling you exactly what time. I'll try and give you about half an hour, and anybody else I can let know, I will let you know. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna go get everything, get each chill about the back, and get ready to watch Richard, and let's keep our fingers crossed and say a wee prayer for Tommy. You know. Um, yeah. So see you this evening. If you can make it, I'll see you then. All my love, guys, and God bless.